advocacy has changed a bit in the age of Zoom. And I think there are some folks that could stand to hear these reminders, and just not as a criticism, but just maybe something that they haven't thought of. It's just not necessarily obvious. And so I'd love to hear you run through those too, if you've got those handy.
I guess one of the number one protocol for jury trial conduct is that, conduct yourselves at the same level of decorum as if you were physically present in the courtroom. Remain muted when you're not speaking with the court or the jury. Inevitably someone's dog is going to bark, or there's going to be some loud sound. Just make it your practice to mute yourself unless you're speaking. Make sure that your trial team has, unless they're speaking with the court or the jury, that their video is off. That way we can focus on the tiles of those who are actively participating. And we want to make sure that people are visible at all times in their Zoom tile, and make sure that you don't turn off your video if you are actively participating. If we can't see you, then we don't know if you're hearing what the court says. We don't know if you're hearing what the witness says. Make sure that you're in a separate room. For the lawyers, you just make sure that you're in a separate room, free of distractions from anything else that's happening in your house. So we understand if you need to be in your house, I am, but we, make sure that it's a quiet space with no distractions. Use headphones or earbuds to prevent household noise. For the jurors, we want to make sure that no one can hear their deliberations, but for the attorneys, we just want to make sure we can hear all your words. That is so important. A good microphone, whether it's through the webcam or a separate microphone, is just as important as it is for your podcast. We have to be able to hear you. Alert the judge or the court personnel if you're having any technical problems at all. You have to let us know, because with so many tiles, particularly in a jury trial, we could lose someone and not know it. And so as a host of the Zoom, I can hear a chime when someone leaves, but we all, one of the things I talk about with the jury and the lawyers is we're all watching. We all have to kind of work together, because we don't want to lose a juror. We don't want to lose a lawyer. We don't want to lose a witness or party, anybody who's essential to the trial. And we need to know how to reach you, lawyers, parties, anyone, if you do have an internet outage or anything like that. And just keep to our schedule, stay on time, and if you follow those things, you should be really successful. It's important that you have a professional background, and the new Zoom update. Okay, let's talk a little bit about some things electronically you want to make sure that you do before your trial, your hearing. Number one thing, make sure that you go to Zoom and you have updated your Zoom, so that on the day of your hearing or trial that you're using the most recent. Zoom has been great throughout the course of the last year to continuously update any type of problems that they've been having. So they're constantly, almost weekly, updating Zoom. It also allows now for 49 tiles. Previously, the old Zoom, if you're using an old Zoom update, it only had 21. And so for a jury trial, you need to make sure that you can see all of your tiles on the screen. That's really important during jury selection. And you should have a wide enough screen monitor so that all 49 of those tiles show up. If you're using a small screen, you can't see all the tiles, all the Zoom tiles. And so really important to have a wide screen monitor for use during a jury trial and a jury trial.
One thing you mentioned before we got started was about sharing screen and
yes. The perhaps the most important thing that you can do to ensure you don't embarrass yourself during your trial is to learn how to share screen. It's going to be important that you know how to do that for admitting exhibits, showing demonstratives, using a PowerPoint presentation. It's very important that you learn the function on Zoom that says advanced feature, and if you go to the little the little green button on the bottom that says share screen. If you click it, then you get to an advanced function. At the advanced function, you have the ability to only share the portion of the screen that you wish to share. On more than one occasion, I've seen people's screen and I can see their emails. I can see their instant messages. I can see things that they don't want me to see. And
Mhm.
so I really encourage everyone to practice, 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 and use a monitor that you're not using for your emails, your IMs, and things that you don't want to be seen by the court and the jury.